Warning golf lovers, Yarmouth Golf Pro Dennis Hoye is here. He may fix your swing or ruin your excuses. We're teeing it up next. Welcome, Dennis, to the Your Yarmouth Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So excited to have you here. I'm thinking that being a golf pro is a dream job. Would I be right?
Yeah, when I first got into playing golf when I was a kid, it was one of the things, being around the golf course and the people around the golf course, I got kind of addicted to the whole atmosphere of the place. Yeah. And it's been really nice to be able to get into a field that you actually started doing because of the game that you enjoyed playing. So it was really a nice thing.
Did you play in high school?
I did. Harwich High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then where were you before you came to Yarmouth?
I was at Cranberry Valley in Harwich for a long time, which is in Harwich, right down the street from the high school there. And then I've been over here for about 10 years now.
I know this is probably a loaded question, but what is like the greatest thing about being a golf pro?
Getting to interact with people. For me personally, I really enjoy talking to people, talking to the members, getting to know them. And a lot of the people that we have work for us, one of the things I think is really interesting, we have a lot of retired people come work for us. And many of them have had really tremendous careers in their own right.
Yeah.
And you get to tap in and talk to them and use them as a resource. And it's been really good to develop relationships that way. So that's kind of one of the best things for me about the whole business.
Is it a sport that you can get into later in life, or is it something that you need to be playing early on?
No, you can play. The beauty of golf is you can play at any age level, and you can play all the way to the end of your life. My dad played till he was 93 years old. He passed away when he was 94, but and we have a lot of players that come into it after they finish their work career because they don't have time. That pick it up, and you can definitely learn how to play. And it's one of the things but you want to learn how to do it properly right from the start instead of fighting with it for a while. It's a good thing to try to get into that way.
You want to hire a golf pro?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Or the whole thing is you really want to learn how to do the things properly, get the right equipment and things like that, and make sure that you're set to go.
So Yarmouth has 3 golf courses.
Mm-hmm.
What makes them unique?
The beauty of the golf courses in Yarmouth is they're all different. The links course, which we renovated about a year and a half ago, we put $3 million renovation, is a true links style course, no trees on it. Bass River, which is the beautiful location right on the river there, is an old Donald Ross style, so the golf course is designed differently, smaller greens, a little bit different to play. And then the Championship 18 over at Bayberry Hills is just a beautiful place to play, probably I guess for the more serious player, and it's a little more of a test, and that's what the beauty is. You can try all different levels of golf there.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you that. Like, which course would be better for like a beginner like myself?
Well, the thing that's really nice is we have multiple tee boxes at all the places, so if you play up front, even a hard course can be made easy that way.
Yeah.
If you go back too far and you haven't played a lot, you could be, fighting with it a little bit. But it's really is about how the course set up. But that's the beauty. We have a lot of different tee areas. So I say they're all pretty well equal as far as, playing. Bass River might be a little bit easier for a beginner, I would say a little bit. But,
okay.
But yeah.
So what is different with golf courses on the Cape than maybe other areas in New England?
I think the thing on the Cape that's very unique is that all the municipalities and all the towns have golf courses pretty much.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but most do, and they're all very nice. So it gives everybody that lives in the towns a great opportunity to play golf in their own town at some very nice golf courses and tracks. And it's a good destination for a lot of tourists to come in because there's a lot of options of places to play.
Okay, so what about weather? Does that come into play with the golf courses on the Cape? Is it windier here?
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the things, for sure, yeah, because even as a kid playing down here, you learn right off the bat, you have to learn how to play in the elements, and it's always windy, as you know, on the Cape. But like some of our courses, like our links course, which doesn't have trees, when it's windy, can be a big test out there because you have nothing protecting you, and the wind can kind of move your ball around quite a bit. So it's a very hard way to play sometimes, but once you do it enough, you get used to it.
Is that a surprise for people, for tourists that come to play the course? Are they surprised about the wind?
Yeah, I think a lot of times people come to the Cape and they, get down, and all of a sudden we get, some really strong windy days,
Yeah.
and it makes golf difficult when it's blowing like that. So, but it's good. So it does surprise people a lot of times.
This might be a hard question, but do you have a favorite spot on any one of the 3 courses, like your favorite spot to be?
I'd say the favorite spot for me is I really enjoy the one of the spots is the 4th hole at Bayberry. Is one spot that I like a lot. It's a hole with a pond in front of it. But truthfully, the real special spot for me is the couple of the holes on the river at Bass River.
Okay. It's beautiful there.
Oh, yeah. You come down right towards the river.
Yeah.
You see the boats going by and the bridge and everything. And then there's a par 3 right on the water right behind the clubhouse there. And the beauty of that is a lot of people, when they play golf, don't stop sometimes, look around, because it's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
And they get so wound up and tight playing that
Take it in.
Yeah,
Relax.
you should take it in and enjoy where you're at. So
speaking of relaxing when you're playing golf, what is more important, the swing or the mindset?
I think the mindset,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, if you're having a bad day and you take it with
Yeah.
you to the golf course, you're probably going to have a bad day on the golf course too. You
Yeah.
have to kind of stay focused and, enjoy yourself, and then you're going to be much more relaxed and play better.
So I have played golf a little bit in my lifetime, and I get a little intimidated being out there because I may play a little bit slower. So what do you say to the person that's a little intimidated about going on one of these golf courses if they're afraid of like holding up the people behind them?
Yeah. Well, one of the things it's interesting, as long as you keep up with the group in front of you, that's really all you need to do. And a lot of people, everybody has to start at a certain spot. If you haven't played a lot, you have to learn. You have to get better at it. I used to do, which we're probably going to start up coming this next year, we used to do beginner clinics with a lunch involved afterwards. So people come to the clinic, they get to meet each other,
Yeah.
socialize, and a lot of the people that you do things like that end up joining leagues and things at the golf courses, and it's kind of a neat thing. But the funny story is, years ago when I used to do these, we had a hole that was right by a back porch where we had food, and
Yeah.
we had the food, and I'd asked the class to watch the people teeing off the 10th hole.
That's the worst.
No, but what they saw was how bad people actually were, so they felt better about themselves by
Okay.
watching that, because the whole point is you have varying degrees of how people play. So it's something, once you get it used to it, it's not a big deal. It shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah,
So,
you have to kind of put your ego aside when you're out there for sure and relax. But I've been in that position where I've been on that last hole and everyone's sitting there enjoying their lunch and you're like, oh no, please don't look at me.
No, I know. Yeah, that is, it takes a little bit to get used to that. But then after you play a little bit, you get used to it.
So any of the courses deal with the wind a little bit differently than others? Do you have any wild wind weather stories?
Well, weather stories, yeah. Usually at Bass River, because the water's coming right off the water there. You get some times when it gets extreme out there. We had about a year and a half ago, we had a lightning incident out there on a windy day with the courses full, and we just started to get people to draw in from it. And we had a lightning strike that hit an irrigation line and actually one of the greens, and the green had these like spider marks, which was the shock from the lightning across, and then one of the irrigation things got blown. There was a geyser coming up out of the ground, and that's the things about golf that a lot of people don't understand, is that when the weather does get bad, you should just get off the golf course. And people are like, oh, it'll just pass by, and that's not a smart move to make. So
as far as you and your being a pro, how can I get a lesson with Dennis Hoye?
Yeah, what you would do is we have a website, golfyarmouth.com, which has all of the all these multiple instructors that work up there, and you look us up, and you can contact us with our phone numbers are right on there, and just call us up and make an appointment.
What about leagues? Are there women's leagues? Are there camps for young kids that may want to get into the game?
Yeah, we have, there's 2 different leagues that go on, a men's and a women's league that go at Bass River during the week. Anybody that's interested that becomes a member that wants to we can get them in contact with the people that run them.
Okay.
We will be doing summer camps this coming summer. We did a neat clinic with the Yarmouth Rec Department last year, a parent and child clinic where the parents have they have to participate with the kids.
Okay.
And the reason I do that is because I never would have played golf if my dad didn't. Because we played together.
Sure.
And I think a lot of cases, if you want to get new people developed and get into the game, it's better to have them play with their parents. Then they can do that for the rest of their lives, and it's kind of a really neat thing.
So sign up early. Should they? I'm sure it books up early, those camps.
Yeah, they do. But we'll probably be doing that one probably sometime in the spring, and then we're going to do our regular junior camps in the summer, and then each week we do multiple clinics that go on, and then we're probably going to bring back that clinic I was telling you about before with the lunch involved, just to get people who are learning to get to meet each other. And yeah.
What have you heard from people about the golf courses? Like when they get off the course, like what are they saying to you, especially from if they live out of town? Are they just completely excited and so happy they played? Do they, what have they been telling you?
Well, I can tell you like everything else in the golf business, it all starts with maintenance.
Yeah.
The Scott Gilmore, who took over as director of golf, pristine conditions.
Yeah.
And what happened is over the last 7 years, the golf courses have evolved to be in great shape. Josh Lyon, who's the superintendent, they do fantastic work in the golf courses. And that's what we hear the most is when people finish, they go, wow, for a busy public golf course, that's really in tremendous shape. And it's a lot of work for them to do. So they do a wonderful job keeping the golf course up. And that's the main thing we hear a lot of the time.
And so what are you going to say to those people out there that like want to get out there, but they're a little anxious or might be a little bit nervous or afraid? What's your word of advice for playing around at one of the courses there?
Yeah, I think what the best thing to do is get in a group of people that you enjoy being with, that you're comfortable with to start with. And you really can't worry about the other people.
Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, and the other thing, sometimes you're going to run into people, it doesn't matter if it's golf or wherever you go, that are going to be, impatient and things like that. But that's something you can't worry about. And that's where the golf course with our rangers and things like that, they'll usually come around and talk to people and help them out and try to get them, to understand what's going on.
And come find you.
Yes. I'm always there, so yeah.
If you are interested in checking out any of the town's golf courses, you can go to their website, golfyarmouth.com. Check it out. Sign up for that tee time. You may want to start booking now, though, because spring and summer is the place to be here on the Cape. Now, before we let you go, we want to end our session here with a little rapid fire questions, Cape Cod golf style.
All right.
So are you ready?
I am.
Okay. So, morning tee time or sunset round?
Morning.
Okay. Lobster roll, hot or cold?
Cold.
Chowder, thick or thin?
Thick.
Are you taking the cart or are you walking?
I used to walk, but I take the cart most of the time now.
Do most people take the cart or do they walk?
I say majority of people ride now. Truthfully, over the years, I always tended to play better when I walk, though, because then you're on your own, you go to your own ball, and people always think, oh, if you're walking, it's going to be slower, and that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
But.
All right. Best excuse for a bad shot?
Well, the funniest thing, if you watch, nobody ever hits a bad shot, and it's never their own fault in golf, right? So, but usually the best excuse is they heard somebody say something.
Right.
I
was distracted.
From 3 holes away or something like this. As soon as they hit the bad shot, they'd look around trying to find somebody to blame for it. But that's common. But
what about best excuse for a bad round?
Usually people come up with phantom injuries, I would say.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
They finish the round, play bad, and they go, oh, I was really hurt, after the round. They tell you that. So.
Well, finally, hidden talent, but not golf related.
One thing I really enjoy doing is I play darts in a league, the Cape Cod Dart League, which has been a lot of fun, and I'm pretty good at it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Darts are fun. I played a couple of times years and years ago, but I don't think I was very good at it.
But this is fun because it's a weekly thing. You get competitive matches with different people, and you get to meet a lot of people. So it's been a lot of fun to do that. So.
Well, we thank you for everything that you do for the community, and I know everybody loves you, and they love seeing you on the golf courses. And thanks for joining us here today. We really appreciate it. And for those listening, if you want to check out one of the courses, once again, go to golfyarmouth.com and sign up soon. And thank you for listening. Make sure that you follow us on all of our social media, our website, our YouTube channel, our Channel 8, and you can find us anywhere you get your podcast. Maybe I'll see you on the links. Thanks.